Hello, North America, and welcome to another segment of the VIP Business Talk Show. I'm Don Emilio Zinno, Johanne Serpone joining us, and tonight's segment has to do with lending practices, how to lend money without getting screwed. You know what I'm saying? That's what I'm saying, Johanne. What do you think I mean by that, Johanne?
I don't know, but that getting screwed was a little Italian look.
Yeah, getting screwed.
Folks, go for it. I'm trying
folks,
to understand what exactly you're trying to address there, Don, and I'm going to be listening very attentively.
Good. I don't care who you are, what you do for a living, what religion, what nationality. There comes a time where we all need money. Money's not coming in. I'm just setting the stage.
Yeah, cool.
We know these situations all too well, or we can't wait till we have the money to buy that new home or that new automobile, and of course we need to borrow money. But the fact is, when we're borrowing money, there's always a lender out there, either a financial institution or a personal lender. And folks, whatever you do, take my advice. Try to stay away from loan sharks. You will never, never, ever win with a loan shark, because I don't care, with no disrespect, these are bad dudes. Okay, they're bad dudes, because if ever, God forbid, you cannot, as far as I'm concerned, once you borrow from them, you'll never be able to pay back the capital. These guys lend out money like at 50% interest rate annually minimum.
Keep it borderline of what the
whatever all the tricks, the 42 weeks instead of 52 weeks. We know all those tricks because I've done some research on it. And I mean, stay away from them. These guys are bad apples, and we all know that. And so what I'm saying is that make sure you have something that you can part with. For example, if I had to lend you money, and please, whatever you do, don't call me. I don't want to lend you money. But if I had to lend you money, okay, the way I would do it, I would charge, for example, 12% per annum right now with the way things are. But I would want some sort of collateral. I'm sorry, your good word is not worth anything to me. And most people that lend monies, be prepared, know this at least, as if that banks, financial institutions, professional lenders, they want some sort of collateral. Yeah. So one of the collaterals is look in your home, see anything that you may have, and go and see that personal lender and say, listen, I've got this beautiful painting that's been valued at $3,000. Okay, here's the evaluation from a known evaluator. Okay, art evaluation, and it's worth $3,000. And I need $1,000 for a short-term period, let's say 6 months, and that person may just turn around and say, all right, I'll lend you $1,000 at 12% per annum, 1% per month. Give me your art painting, and I'll keep it in my coffers until you pay back the $1,000.
That's a good way of doing it.
It's sort of a pawn shop without the pawn shop. In other words, you're going to someone, a friend, somebody you know, hey, I want you to hold on to it because I think that's the right thing to do. Because despite my best efforts of wanting to pay you back, God forbid, here's a good line, God forbid, Johanne, I'm not able to pay you. No. I don't want you to lose your $1,000. You have that painting that's worth $3,000. You hold on to it. When I paid you back the $1,000, that's a good way. That's an honest, sincere, ethical way of telling the lender, listen, I'm good for it, but I just want to protect you. If you get, and you know what, that person may just turn around and say, all right, let's do it. You seem like an honest guy, and I'm going to hold on to that painting of yours until you pay me back the $1,000. And 1% per month is really, really affordable. It's not a lot.
And also, what's interesting about the example you've given is because if you're willing to put that painting up, and the lender is going to lend you the money at this 12%. Well, I think you're not I don't think you're at a loan sharker type of a loan, because because they're willing to take your painting in collateral, then they're taking the risk. They're not going to be hounding you after, because if God forbid you're not able to pay, they feel comfortable. They got your painting.
Believe me, Johanne,
you're going to want your painting back. But what I'm saying is, if you can't, then you don't have to worry about it. He's got your painting. The debt is extinguished. You don't have any more problems of of compounding interest, and God knows what can happen to you because of this $1,000. So I think it's like a win-win in both ways.
But Johanne, we all know this, because the real loan shark out there is not going to want your art painting.
Right.
He's going to make you into an art painting if you don't pay him back.
Yeah,
that's
but
the way.
I think it's a good example.
Yeah. He's gonna draw you nicely, in the wrong way. But folks, that's one of the ways. The other ways, of course, is I don't know if you've got anything that's valuable, because and depending on the net worth of that real property, or that immovable property or movable, people will lend you money accordingly. Like if, for example, if I needed $100,000 and I have land that's worth $1 million, chances are they will lend you $100,000.
Yeah, that's beautiful.
Yeah. And it's a temporary. It's sitting there anyways. And the fact is that if you're doing that, it shows the lender that you have confidence that you'll pay back the loan, because nobody wants to lose a 10-to-1 ratio in terms of value. I would see it as being honest on the person's part. What I'm saying?
Yeah. I think so.
Yeah, things of that nature. So in this case, this is where you, the lender, rather the borrower, have to look into, who the lender is. Is it an ethical business person or individual? Number one, you have to look into that, because you don't want to borrow from the wrong people. We all know of people that did borrow from the wrong people and have had bad experiences.
Sometimes you get a referral. You get a referral by somebody you know. So that secures you too.
That's right.
If it's someone dear to you.
That's right. You can always borrow from the government and decide not to pay back, and then see Johanne Serpone.
No, they're going to come after you. No, wouldn't borrow there.
So these are some of the lending practices that we have. But basically, there are times where you need to borrow money for something very, very important.
Sometimes here too, another idea that comes to mind on if you're saying like some type of the lending practices they do is sometimes also, if let's say you have a vehicle that's paid, sometimes you can go to these rental dealers or car dealers, and what they'll do is they'll turn around and make a loan on your car, taking your car's collateral.
Right.
And then they structure it sometimes in type of a lease program or a loan program on your vehicles. I've seen a lot of that happen, where people need an extra cash, and then their cars are paid. Sometimes you can have a car that's worth maybe $8,000 to $10,000. So you go convert it into a loan. Some of these car dealers will do that, which is quite interesting, because then you're making your car payment, which we're used to making a car payment, and meanwhile you've cashed out a few bucks if you need some money. Right.
Agreed.
Yeah.
Are there any other ways that borrowers can borrow money from lenders, and in the most comfortable way that you may know of, other than your conventional banks and financial institutions? I'm talking more on the personal level.
On the personal level, like now, because the banks are also so tight, there's quite a lot of financial groups of business people that have incomes that have grouped together and have turned around and will borrow.
But Johanne, we're going to have to pick that up. Okay. Our time is running out.
I go so
I'm being
quickly.
flagged. Folks, you know what I'm going to do as a revenge to our producer here of this show? We're gonna sell off his camera and produce some liquidity so that Johanne and I can go on holidays for a while. So more on the VIP Business Talk Show next time here on VIP Internet TV. Please help us spread the word. Until then, we want to wish you all the best. Have a nice one.
Bye-bye.